Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Russell, AmbeRussell. Make sure you guys subscribe. The button's like right at the top. Leave a comment at the bottom. Thumbs up the video as well, and watch previous videos that me and Amber posted up previously throughout the year, and so on and so forth in the past. So, just a little quick video. Will Smith is actually recreating the movie Annie, and is having his daughter Willow Smith actually play the role as Annie. And now these kids of Will and Jada Pinkett, Jada and Willow, are very young. They have been thrown into the spotlight very young and very early in life. They both were in movies with Will Smith. And now Jaden was a part of, was started in his own movie, feature film, and grossed like over $100 million in the U.S. alone, let alone around the world. He made so much money. And now it seems as though it's Willow's turn to be the next movie star from out the Smith family household. I just think that they really are doing too much with their kids. They should let their kids, sit down and have an actual childhood and go to school and get an education, make friends, because in an interview, Willow Smith actually made it seem as though she wanted to go to school and was not enjoying not being able to go outside and play and have fun and be a kid. She actually sounded as though she wanted to, not do this, but that she feels as though that she's doing it because it's she has to, and that people need her to do it, not because she wants to do it. So yeah, I just think that Will Smith and Jada should lay low on their kids and let them just, have a normal childhood. They are already in the spotlight because of the fact that they're the parents. You're the parents. Now they have to be in the spotlight because you want them to be, not because it's their own picking. So now, when I was reading the article on Yahoo.com, I was scrolling down looking at the comments, and a lot of people, it seems as though they are upset at the fact that they're having Willow Smith play Annie. Some people are saying it's because they should have a talent search and have people decide if Willow Smith should play Annie or if it should be someone else. They're saying that she doesn't have enough talent to do it, to pull the role off, or they're saying that Annie is a white orphan with red hair, and Willow Smith is obviously neither of those two, white or redhead. And first, let me just get on to the point where people are saying that because she's only getting the part because that's her father making the movie. Well, look at Tori Spelling. She was on 90210 and many other TV shows because her father was the producer. Now, I'm not saying that she got the role only because she wasn't talented, but to say that she got the role based on audition is false, because she was on these shows because her father was producing them. She got those roles because it was her daddy picking. And Willow Smith is not the first, and she will not be the last celebrity child to get, famous because of their parents' last name or because of their last name. A lot of celebrities allow their kids to, when the celebrity makes a movie, they want their kids to play the role and not someone else, because they want their kid to, if they want their kid to get the shine and want their kid to do it and get involved, and they'd rather have their kid and put their kid first than have someone else get first. And I just think that so many people are criticizing Will Smith for what he's doing with Willow, and yet no one's saying anything about other people and their celebrity children. For instance, Tom Hanks' son, he came out with a remix to what's the song called? Black and Yellow. And it was called like White and Purple or whatever. There are so many other kids who have made remixes to Black and Yellow, and yet his was actually shown on MTV.com because of the fact that he's Tom Hanks' son. Now, there's some kid on YouTube or some kid in the street or some kid somewhere else who doesn't have that same opportunity as Tom Hanks' son, and yet his version will not be played on MTV website, will not be heard by millions of people, it will not be shown on Billboard.com as Tom Hanks' son was. but because of the fact that his last name is Hanks, and his father is Tom Hanks, he's going to get more exposure than the next guy, who actually might have more talent and more rapping ability than he does, which the song was not that great. It was just him basically bragging about his lifestyle of living at the college that he goes to. And again, people are saying that, oh, she shouldn't play the role because she's a white redhead, and Will Smith isn't that. Well, if you look at all the movies based in Egypt, they had Cleopatra was played by Elizabeth Taylor. Now, I'm not saying now, Egyptians are not black or dark skinned. There's some that are, lighter skinned, but none of them were fair skinned or look European or look white like how Elizabeth does. And for people to say, for years they have always had a white person play Cleopatra instead of having someone of a ethnic looking background. As well as in the Mummy movies, they have these European actors or featured actors play people that are supposed to be Egyptian, and yet from when I look at the hieroglyphics and the old sculptures dating back from the earlier Egyptian years, they did not look like that. They had more of a Middle Eastern look, and besides the fact that they're in Africa, why is there a white person playing an African? I don't get that. Even though they don't have the same darker skin tone and the same hair texture as African, as a traditional, African person. They don't have the same European features as well. So why is it that it's alright for Elizabeth Taylor to play, Cleopatra, and yet it's wrong for Will Smith to actually play Orphan Annie? Annie's just a character as well as Cleopatra, so I don't see why it's such a big deal. And people are saying, oh, this movie's going to probably be just filled with black actors, it's not right, it's not fair. Well, if you look at movies dating back from the beginning of motion picture, there was always a lack of black actors in these films. I mean, look at the TV show Friends. They went for years without having an actual black actor on the show with lines, let alone even in the background. You could turn on TV, there are barely any African Americans appearing on these sitcoms or these reality TV shows, like, let's say, The Bachelor. You've never seen a black bachelor at all. You've never seen or bachelorette. You never see a black contestant last long on these shows. Or turn on ABC, you don't see a black sitcom on there. You don't see a show with a star being of African American descent or African American or Spanish, or because they took Ugly Betty off. I mean, some of the shows do have it, but the majority of them feature just mainly white actors on them, as well as movies. There was a time when there was no black Disney princess. It was always a white one, and then they had the Native American. They had it with Pocahontas, and they had Mulan. But it wasn't until like 2 years ago when they finally did make a black princess. And then you look at superheroes, there are no black superheroes. Only one is Storm from X-Men. And yet, when the black person does decide to play a role, people get upset and say, oh, you're recreating our films or whatever. And yet, you look at music, for instance, there are white people rapping, as for instance Tom Hanks' son, as I mentioned earlier, as well as songs back in the 50s, as if you guys ever seen Dreamgirls. You notice that, and that's actually based off of real information, where a black artist wasn't able to get famous off of their songs because the white artists decided to take their songs and redo them, and because the black artist wasn't able to, get their music out there or get lawyers to say, hey, the copyrights, they end up not being able to get their songs played, and that the white artist was able to cover it. Now, that's all I have to say about that. I hope, Will, you do a good job with this movie and prove everyone wrong. And it's just sad that people are talking and dissing her so badly when she's just a little child. Another thing I watched was the Obama speech that he did, the State of Union speech, and he had a lot of good points that he made. I have actually written them down. Some things that I did like was that he was asking to make sure that these two parties, the Democrat and the Republicans, to all come together and make sure they try to fix their problems as a whole and not separate and fight each other, because you all have one single goal, which is to make sure we have a better country. One thing I do like what he said was about helping the country get their money back by taxing the wealthy. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, why shouldn't everyone just have get tax cuts or whatever? But it seems kind of funny that people could make, millions of dollars and they don't want to give it back into taxes when you guys use public services like post office and firefighters and police and hospitals. These people need to get paid. That's the only way these people are going to be able to get paid, is by the taxes that we pay from our paychecks. And I like the fact that he wants the millionaires and the really wealthy people to not have tax breaks at all, because they don't need it, because they are able to, afford to pay the taxes. And it's just sad that these people don't want to pay the taxes, but they will spend their money on, yachts and airplanes and all these personal stuff, and yet our country is in the red zone as far as with the money concerned. To no more denying people because of pre-existing conditions. That's a good one for the health insurance, because there are a lot of people who are unable to get health insurance just because of something that they were born with or a condition that they already have. But healthcare, I liked how he was talking about, just different things regarding us becoming a better country, and just, the spending. I remember watching the movie in one of my classes, and it's just funny that the news and the press make it seem as though, helping out the poor and welfare and all those WIC checks or whatever, as though as those are taking so much money out of our spending. And I remember in this movie they talked about how these kids were public enemy number one because they were on welfare, and yet the amount of money at this time this movie was filmed, the amount of money that was going for welfare was only 1%, or about 3% of the country's wealth, whereas 44% of the country's wealth was going towards the army. And it's just funny that they would make it seem as though, this small amount of money was such a big deal, and if they kept the military spending secretly. So I like how Obama was saying that we should cut the military and have them not spend all this money for things that they don't need. He also said that he wished that taxpayers were able to find out what the money is getting used for by going online, seeing what their tax funds are getting spent on. Also talked about education and how he wants to reform the No Child Left Behind and get a better plan, because there are kids who do better, but they're not they have grown and matured, and they have learned so much, and from going from first test from being a 1 to a 4, but the passing is a 5, it's kind of sad that these kids are going to be left behind, because they have grown from so low and so far down on the level of the testing, and then they have grown so fast and so much, and yet it's not good enough. So it's good that he's changing, wants to get that changed, and just a bunch of reforms that he wished to accomplish during the last parts of his term. I hope this speech isn't just a speech; it's actually actions going to be put behind these things, and I hope he toughens up and doesn't let the Republicans, put down what he has to say. Because a lot of times when I watch the news and stuff, they have a lot of comments, negative comments rather, saying that he's not doing something right, and what his reforms are not good. It's not helping out the nation as a whole. It's just helping out a certain group of people. But these problems that it is helping people, and they're just, just putting everything he does down. And so, Obama, I hope you're able to get these reforms and all these things set up by the time it's the new election, and hopefully you get another 4 years. If not you, I hope the next president in charge will be able to fulfill what Obama has, asked for his House of Reps and people to, and his cabinets and stuff to fulfill for the next term for the next president. And now, last topic is this new show on MTV called Skins. And now it's a Racy show. It was made in the UK, and this is just the US version on MTV right now. And a lot of people are giving a lot of flack to it because of the sexualness of the show. And it's just kind of sad that, well, not sad, rather, let's see. It's just funny how people are just taking the show so negatively, but there are so many other TV shows on the air that do the same exact things. I guess the only difference is that all these kids are actually teenagers, and yet they deal with real-life situations and real-life problems. I think the show is a little bit exaggerated, because as in my high school, I haven't seen people act that way or do the things that they do on their show. But at the same time, there are kids who are involved with the same things as the kids in the Skins TV show. So, for people to say it's too sexual, it's too racy, it's real life, basically. It's not like a Gossip Girl or, Beverly Hills 90210. It's real life. It's not a drama TV show. It's about real life. And also, it's a show that comes on at 10 o'clock on MTV, so it's a cable channel, and it comes on late at night. If you want your kids to watch it, if they're not old enough to watch MTV, they shouldn't be up at 10 o'clock able to watch the show. And also, the show has a MA, standing for Mature Audience, logo come on, so if you don't want your kids to watch it, you have to just block the show. And there are much worse things on TV. This is just showing kids in real life and just dealing with real life situations, and they could probably help the kids out. And people shouldn't judge the show before they watch it. They should watch it and then say how they feel about it. I have watched it. It was kind of, not my cup of tea, not the type of show I like. I like more comedy, upbeat type TV shows with kind of darker show. But take a look at it. It comes on Monday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And this is Russell, AmbeRussell. Some of you guys think about the TV show Skins. Did you watch Obama's State of Union speech? And what did you guys think about it? If you did watch it, do you think there are things he's missing out on his speech, or things that you feel as though he should work on with his new term of the presidency, as towards his term of the presidency goes away? And do you guys think Will Smith should be able to play Annie if her father is producing and recreating this film? Or do you think they should have someone else play it? Do you think African American little girl could play a redhead orphan, or should I have gone to someone else? Let me know what you guys think, and make sure you guys subscribe, leave a comment, and thanks for watching the AmbeRussell Show. Thumbs it up.